Alright, our first race of the championship is Nürburgring. I get a very, very bad start, but that's okay, because we started from the back, so it doesn't really matter. But as we come to T1, it gets pretty tight, and we start getting bumped and nudged around, which is pretty normal for Nürburgring. But what I failed to notice is I have traction control off. I just noticed now, so it was kind of rough through that corner. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be just damage control during this race. I don't want to lose too many points in the championship, so I was just trying to get it as best I can. And I believe that was Regan and I don't know who else, but they went off together, and now I'm just behind Pandem, and really I'm just trying to control the distance between us because he's probably driving with traction control on. That's I think that's what he's doing, and since I have it off, he's definitely going to start pulling away if I mess it up. He's like a sick drift right there, and it's kind of tough to stick with someone when they have traction control on because it's so much easier to drive with it on than with it off in this car. I'd like to mention, this is the second championship I've ever done on here, and I do them weekly, if you didn't know. The only reason I do them weekly is because this video, for instance, took me probably like 8 hours to edit, so it's not the fastest thing. As we come up to Pandem again, he makes a mistake as the caution head comes up, and he just went in the grass. I think he just went wide or bumped a curb or something, but that puts us in a good position to get extra points, and we definitely did. We kept in first, we didn't make any mistakes, and we got a 6:05.058, and that puts us with the fastest lap, and I got a 26 points, so the extra point definitely helped me out, and that puts Pandem second, Regan third, and me first, obviously. As we come to Indianapolis, Jobley is going to start first, I'm going to start second, and Pandem is going to start third, but I'm going to stop here and someone hits me somehow, but I have no idea. But now that gives them a very, very big gap, so that should be good for them, and I already get a position because someone went off. Not surprising at this point, as we are behind Georgia Boy. I think that's his name. He's in a red car. I don't know if that's Ferrari. Not too sure. Probably is. But he's going for a weird approach to that. Yeah, he's definitely going into the grass. As we are behind Piece of Littles, my bad. And we get past them. Now we're behind Holt Racing. And we look on the right side just to see where our braking zone was. Not trying to get around him or anything. We get like bumped off the track. I was like, okay, we're just gonna drive through it. And he bumps another person. I was like, okay, now we're getting to the point where it's like, you're making a big deal out of this. I don't think you're a great driver if you're knocking off everyone. So I just want to get around him as fast as possible, and I definitely do that right there. And here we come up to the pack again, and I'm in fourth. So that's Jeeben right there, and I didn't want to bump him, but it kind of got awkward, and I didn't want to let off, so I get ahead. And those two are just battling each other so much that they ran each other in the wall. That's how hard they were going. And we're on the end of second lap, and that is Pandem off. I don't know what happened, but he was off the track, so he was off the track. I mean, not much really I can say. I didn't know what happened, so that was the win for me, but not too sure why. I got a 104.501. That's the fastest lap of the race, and that gives me 26 points in the end. And this is definitely good for the championship for me. 2 wins and 2 fastest laps. That's absolute maximum you can achieve. And we come to Prague Reverse, and we start ahead of, I'm not too sure, I can't read it, but I know Pandem is third, and that is the important guy, Pandem, because he's second in the championship. Pandem is right behind us at the moment. He's kind of fading back as we cut the chicane back there. And these corners for me were tough in this race because I was driving with a stiffer suspension than I'm used to, and the corner was very tricky because mid-corner the suspension would like bounce, and it was so hard to deal with. You can just tell I was just hitting the walls like crazy, and here I bumped the curb, and it was unsavable. Like, there is no way I could fix that without hitting the wall. And that was the end of the race. I didn't do too badly, but 110.1 is not good for me. I can get a 109.5 easy, I guess, average. So the fast lap goes to Pandem because it was clean, and I got 77 points, so we are definitely racking the points in the beginning of this season. We come to Silverstone, full circuit. Pandem starts in first because he got a clean lap last race. And I think that's Regan ahead of me, and I've just run someone off the road. I don't know what else I could have done without slowing down, but I didn't want to slow down. As someone's up on my inside, and I bump Regan because I'm getting bumped on right and left, and it's getting pretty awkward here. But I think the other guy got shoved off track, so it's kind of sad, but that's kind of how Forza is. The physics are not the greatest. But this race was kind of boring after that. That was really good. Regan stayed really close to me, and then at the end, no one really did anything. So I got a 122.536, and that race was pretty dull. Davy Jones got the fastest lap with a 124.509, and the gap now is really, really big. I'm almost double Pandem's points, and Regan's in third. We come to VIR, or Virginia International Raceway, and I am definitely worried about the first corner, that is for sure. As Pandem gets first, so he's going to probably turn in really early and get lucky, and I'm probably going to get bumped. Yes, I get bumped. I already expected that. Even in the race, I was definitely thinking that. And this is just really awkward here as I take the Nissan sign with me. Here we go with the billboard. And someone comes up on my right. It's just really awkward in the beginning stages of this track just because it's so tight and because the turns are so weird. It's just all kinds of awkward. And I'm not surprised people get all kinds of weird in this track. And this turn is awful. The track limits are just drop like the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in my life. And the track is not bad, it's just the track limits really need work. And the track is not bad, but definitely not the favorite. And I don't think many people like the track as much either. As we are behind Regan now, which is an awkward sight, or not a normal sight, but apparently Regan's really good here. And we are coming up on the back of him at this point in the race. And Regan seems to be pushing really hard in this what would you call it, fast right lefts, I guess. And he just gets it wrong. That's why I was taking it really easy as I cut this stupid corner again, because I freaking hate that corner. But he was pushing really hard in that section. I don't know if I was stressing him or anything, but he just got it wrong, and that gave me position. And let's see if I keep it clean, and that is the fastest lap probably. Let's see, 47.855, and yes, it is the fastest lap due to it being clean. Regan did have the fastest outright pace, but I believe I had a faster dirty lap than he did. I'm at 128 points at the moment with 5 wins, so that's all the wins so far. That's an insane thing to do. And we come to Brands Hatch, and Pandem is behind me with Regan, which is, what it's been so far in the championship, so I'm not surprised. And Regan and Pandem seem to be going very aggressive as I look back and I see them fighting. So that's good for me, but the race didn't really come to anything. But if you watch on my right mirror, you'll see Regan go really wide, and that just kind of lost him so much time, and I think he falls back in the pack. So not good for Regan, but as I said again, good for me, but boring for races. I wish I could be online with different times, because I know some people are more competitive with me than others. Like right now, the field is not insanely competitive with me, but I do know a couple of drivers that are, but we're just not on at the same times. I got fastest lap. That's really good. 6 wins. I made a correction because it was wrong. As we come to Silverstone again, but this is the short circuit, and that makes it really interesting. I do believe I turn off the track here just to get a good race, but I think I hold it out here a bit too long. I was like, okay, this is getting me a really crazy race now, because I definitely held that out really long. So now we're really behind. I feel like Pandem's 5 seconds ahead. I think it's already down to 3 or 4. I can't really see very well in this viewing window. Besides the point, though, as we're behind Tasdu, and we're catching up probably. I'm pretty sure we're going to. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we definitely catch up a lot in that corner. I think he just got it wrong. And we come into another braking zone, and he gets it really bad. I get it really clean. Come on the outside of him. I cut back on the inside, and I don't know if that was a great decision, but we are officially on the inside of Tasdu, and I'm going to have to be careful in this corner, and I really take it very carefully, but I think that actually hindered me quite a lot, because that set me back really far behind Tasdu. As he makes a mistake and goes wide, I take advantage, and I get the position. That puts me P4 now, and I'm behind Regan. Now, I'm trying to get first, but I'm not too sure if I can get it at the moment, because the gap is too large for me to make up, because this is a small track, so it's hard to make up that kind of time in this short of time. So I bet Regan's gonna be really good here, because he's really good at defending, especially with wet tires. He seems to have more pace than most, which is strange. In dry, he's okay, but in wet tire, he seems even better. Which is, I don't know if he knows that, but I definitely found this. But I'm gonna have to get past him sometime. At least I think I can, because I believe I caught up to him already. As he goes slightly wide, but not too bad. So I'd say that's fair. As he goes a little deep because he brakes late, and that gives me a good exit on him. And I take the outside, and he just kind of veers over. I don't know if that was the online or, whatever the connection, but we are close enough for Forza. Yeah, this is really close racing for Forza in F1 because the physics just don't allow you to race insanely close. So someone goes off, and that puts Regan and me second and third. But yeah, we are definitely fighting Regan at this moment. We've tried to pass him twice, and we failed twice. Let's see if we can. I don't think we're going to try to pass here, just because it's such a fast corner. And I go immensely wide. I don't know what I was doing. That was really bad, as I nearly rear-ended Regan. But I didn't, which is the good part. And we get a better exit, I think. Yes, we do. And we take the outside again, but is this going to work? We don't shift back over, so we stay on the left side this time. And I think that's going to work as we slowly go to the right just to block it off. And you can't do that in like other games, but in Forza you can. The steering just doesn't allow you in other games to do the same moves. But Pandem is off, and that puts me P1, which I did not think I'd be in this position. I don't know if Pandem made a mistake or he let me, but I'm not too sure what happened, but it doesn't matter. P1, 43.947, fastest lap, 26 points on the board, and that is definitely good for me. Bad for the championship for other people. I'm 180 points, which is just absolutely crazy to me. And we come to Le Mans. The chicanes are in it, so the new Le Mans, the current one. And Pandem is right next to me at the moment. And this is going to be definitely interesting. As we come into T1, I get absolutely rammed. Oh my gosh. That was really bad. Not too sure who did it, but doesn't really matter. I just know I need to fix that problem and get back to where I should be. But we didn't fall too back. We didn't fall too far back. We got fourth. Now we're in third, and I believe that was Arcane that messed up. Pandem is all over the back of us in this section, but I do believe we're running a faster setup than him, top speed wise. So yeah, we definitely are because we're pulling away from him, and I do believe we're gonna start catching up to this guy ahead of us because I bet he's running a lower top speed. So we're going to catch him to here as we come to the right, which is interesting. I think I'm just looking for the breaking point. And I didn't move back over, which is strange. Usually I do. Maybe I was thinking about the move, but not really. Not too sure. But we lost quite a lot of time to Pandem in that turn, just because of the way I took it. And he's running a higher downforce setup. As we come into the next corner, the next chicane, and he goes really wide. I almost followed him on accident, but I was like, that's not part of the track. And I continue with the regular line, but I went slightly wide just because, I made the mistake of thinking he was still on the track. I don't know how I did that, but like how you get in the zone and you start following the person ahead of you. It's just kind of what I was at. And we're going to try to make the move as soon as we can because I don't want to lose too much time. As Holt Racing is ahead, and I want to catch up to him. As we're catching up, and we pass him just because we're running the faster tune. So we have a higher top speed than these guys. And they both let me through, which is good because I didn't want to the people that veer around. I was like, okay, these guys actually are racing for real. So that's good to see. Good to see people caring. As we have a weird exit. I have no idea what happened, but thank God I did not put it in a wall. Not too sure what happened there. As we come to the end of the race, we're coming through the chicanes part. This is really tough as I think I cut the edge of that little corner. And that's not good, but at least I didn't absolutely cut it like some people. I got the fastest lap. I still probably would have got it even if I didn't cut. And I got 26 points. 206 and 126 and 92. Holt Racing is in third now. Regan's in fourth as we come to Hockenheimring. And I do believe this is the 8th race as I get an awful start, I think. And we come into turn 1, and I instantly noticed something wrong. I was like, oh, Oh, we have the Le Mans tune on. This is not going to go great. But everyone goes off, so that's good for me. But at this moment, I know someone's going to get past me. Like, there's no way I can hold this position just because the downforce you lose between the two are so huge. And I was definitely right. Phantom is caught up so much at the end of the race. He had to fight through the field, I think. I'm not too sure, but he caught up in the end of the race, and he's right behind me at the moment. He catches up so much in these last few corners. I knew this section would be so bad for me just because it literally feels like the front and rear wings are broken. It is really bad, and when he comes through the last corner, you can just see how much more grip he has than I do. But I stay ahead, which is mind-boggling. 43.160 for me, but he got the fastest lap, so Phantom, I think, has 2 fastest laps now. I have 6, yeah. I have 231 points, 145 for Phantom, and Halt Racing is 102, and Regan's just behind him. As we come into the last race, which is Dubai, this is absolutely flat out, except one corner, and we start 4th. I think we get 3rd pretty quickly. We're behind Regan now. I go to the left, which is weird. Usually you'd stay to the right, but I think the better of it, and go left, because I want to go wide, as we pass Phantom, and he definitely had a slower speed tune. So, me and Regan are in the fight, really, at this moment. But I get the better of Regan through that corner, which is surprising. As we're on the second lap, we come into that corner, and I absolutely messed it up. I don't know if I blame it all on my fault, because when I was holding the trigger down, I let off, and the trigger got stuck. I was like, well, that's not great. It only took like a few milliseconds before it got stuck, but it made a big difference. As Tazdu is right next to me now, as Regan goes into the wall. Tazdu gets the better in that turn, and that puts me P3, so I'm definitely on the back foot at this moment. So it turned from dominant beginning to not so great, as Tazdu absolutely butchers that and goes into the wall. Just turned too tight, and that puts me in P2. As we're behind Phantom, and oh my gosh, we go very aggressive in that. I don't know why I tried so hard to get that position, but I did. Apparently I wasn't very patient in there. And same thing, I have to get used to it. Just lift off a little bit earlier, but it's just a little bit delay. When I let off the trigger, it like snaps off, and it like takes a little bit to let go. So it's just hard to get used to. As I get past Phantom again, and I think that's making it pretty good. But that is the finish of the race in the championship with a 40.945. I definitely win the championship. I got 26 points, fastest lap, and that was a really good championship. For me, at least, I won by a lot. 257 points, 10 wins. Phantom second. Holt Racing got third with 108 points. Jibin 99 got 101 points, and Regan got 5th place. And Tazdu didn't race enough, so he got 6th. And Arcane, same story as Tazdu. And that brings us to the end of the championship. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.